Welcome back, everyone. If you watched the latest episode, then you know exactly what moment I'm talking about. Sachin was finally about to speak. The truth was right there, on the tip of his tongue. After years of silence, he was ready to tell the family everything. But just as he started, Paresh, his father, stopped him, and ever since then, viewers have been asking, what was Sachin trying to say? What really happened all those years ago? Why does Renuka hate him so much? Is he really the villain, or just misunderstood? Well, this is the story Sachin never got to tell, the full truth he wanted the family to hear, and the one we all deserve to know. This go back to where it all began. Renuka and her husband were a typical middle-class couple, proud parents of 4 sons. On the surface, their family looked picture-perfect, until a series of devastating events slowly tore them apart. And at the center of it all stood Sachin, the third-born son. The irony. Most of what happened wasn't even his fault. Let's start with his birth, the first tragedy. Renuka went into labor with Sachin, and in a cruel twist of fate, her husband met with a horrible accident while rushing to be by her side. He survived, but was left physically impaired. The trauma of that moment forever cast a dark shadow over Sachin's arrival into the world. Soon after, a pundit was called to prepare Sachin's Kundli, or birth chart, and that's when things took a turn. The astrologer warned that Sachin's stars were dangerously misaligned. According to him, this child would bring ruin to the family. That one prediction, superstitious, unproven, became the lens through which Renuka and her husband viewed their son. Instead of love, there was fear. And soon after, mistrust the family, they sent Sachin away. A child barely 9 or 10 years old, abandoned at his grandmother's village with no real explanation. He didn't understand why his parents were pushing him away. He only knew he had somehow become the problem. Then came the death of the eldest son. Roughly a year later, Renuka and her husband decided to visit Sachin. During the trip, tragedy struck. Their eldest son fell into the river and drowned, but here's the truth, it wasn't an accident. Tejas, the second son, Renuka's favorite, who had pushed him in out of fear, and knowing how much their mother adored him, Tejas blamed Sachin, and here's the part that still breaks hearts. Sachin stayed silent even as a child. He chose to protect his brother. Only Paresh, their father, knew the truth. He had witnessed everything. He wanted to tell Renuka the truth, but Sachin begged him not to. He didn't want his mother to hate Tejas the way she hated him, and so, Sachin was sacrificed again. Renuka, already suspicious of him due to his Kundli, believed the worst. Grieving and enraged, she called the police on her own child. Sachin was arrested and sent to juvenile prison, for a crime he didn't commit. Years passed. But Renuka's hatred didn't fade, it grew stronger. When Sachin returned home as an adult, he wasn't welcomed. Renuka saw him as a living reminder of the tragedy. She looked down on him, criticized everything from his presence to his lack of education. After all, he'd missed out on school, on childhood, on any chance at success, because of juvenile prison. Renuka, who prided herself on being educated and respectable, saw Sachin as nothing more than a disgrace. She'd belittle him in front of the family, make him feel like an outsider in his own home. In her eyes, he wasn't worthy of sitting at the same table as the others. Meanwhile, Tejas, the real culprit, thrived under Renuka's love and protection. Only Paresh and Sachin carried the burden of the truth, but they stayed silent out of love, out of fear, out of sacrifice, and that's the story Sachin was trying to tell before Paresh stopped him. Just wanted to finally tell his side, the side no one ever cared to ask about. Sachin's life became a long, painful journey of silence